I found out I was pregnant, and when I went to my boyfriend to figure out how this happened, he accused me of cheating because we've never gone all the way. I'm just as confused as him. I, 16 female, am a virgin and so is my boyfriend, 16 male. We're both inexperienced in that area, and neither of us feel ready to take that step yet. It's never been a big priority for me, and he's told me he feels the same. That said, we've been together for a couple of years now, so we've explored things a bit further. I won't go into details, but you can probably get the idea. Think of it as being close but not all the way. Anyway, a couple of days ago I went to the doctor because I've been feeling really sick lately. I did a urine test and a finger prick, and my doctor told me I was pregnant. Of course, I laughed at first because I thought she was joking, but no, I'm really pregnant. I kind of fell silent. She started talking about things like ultrasounds, prenatal vitamins, etc., but I cut her off and told her that wasn't possible because I've never gone all the way, therefore have never conceived. She explained to me that very few women can get pregnant by outercourse, but it's still possible due to vaginal anatomy or something. I was, and still am, in complete and utter shock, so I kinda just left without any further explanation. I had driven myself because both of my parents work. I went straight to my boyfriend's house, and he was the first person I told. I hadn't even texted or called in advance because I was crying, completely distraught. I don't know why, but it didn't even cross my mind that he would think I cheated. I would never do something like that. I explained everything to him about how we'd never technically had gone all the way, but we got really close, and stuff can happen. He seemed pretty lost until I eventually told him I was pregnant. Which is when he, rightfully, got pissed at me because how the heck does that even happen without us actually going all the way? I tried so hard to explain myself and assure him that I'd never do that, ever. I told him I'd take a DNA test or something to prove that, but he didn't believe a word and made me go home. The last thing he told me was, "I really trusted you." He looked like he was about to cry. Now I'm blocked on everything, so I can't text or call explaining myself. I'll respect his decision if he wants to break up, but I need him to know I was never with anyone else. It's been killing me, knowing how hurt he must feel. Luckily, he hasn't told anyone that I'm pregnant because I haven't even told my own parents yet, but he has told people that I cheated on him, and now I'm losing friends and everything's gone to crap. This was already the worst, lowest point of my life, and it seems to be getting worse. I've basically locked myself in my room. I feel so depressed. I just need him to know. Update 2 days later. I'm so sorry it took a couple of days to update. Things have been moving wildly slow, and I didn't want to create a whole post for each small thing I had to update. So much has happened. First off, I just want to specify a couple of things, misconceptions as well as some key aspects I didn't do a good enough job explaining. No, my boyfriend didn't yell at me or call me names. He was angry, you could tell, but it was an extremely short conversation, and he was primarily silent. That's the type of person he is. Though we've had very few arguments, he usually goes quiet when he's mad. I'm not saying it was the right way to act at all, but it was understandable in my opinion, as the possibility of this happening was entirely new and confusing to both of us. He also never spread rumors about me, as some people were saying. I want to make that clear. He told his best friend, who told another one of their close friends, and you know how that works. Toxic gossip train. A few of our mutual friends, who are generally closer to him and knew him first, stopped talking to me. Again, that hurts a lot. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I know that if I thought someone had cheated on my friend, I would cut ties with them instantly. I understand things like this seem a lot worse to adults who maybe forget what it's like to be young and immature because we're 16 after all, and that's what we are. I think people also forget that I was making this post very shortly after all of this had happened. He came to my house the morning after I made the post and apologized, explaining that he'd done a lot of research and felt bad for accusing me. He said he still didn't know if he fully trusted me but wanted to at least help me while I went through this because, if anything, we've been best friends since we were small. He came over, and we told my parents together, explaining that I didn't know if it was pregnancy or illness, and I needed to get further testing done. They seemed disappointed that I hadn't told them I was intimately active, but my mom said she was more disappointed in herself for not teaching me about reproductive health. They're being as supportive as they can. So, that all happened. Flash forward to the next day, Monday, I went to the doctor to get more blood testing done. I wanted to update then, but I had to wait until I got the results back, today. So far, after a full blood panel, all signs are still pointing to me being pregnant. The comments kind of got my hopes up, thinking it was most likely something else. My doctor explained that there was actually a slightly higher chance of me being pregnant than there was of a false positive because it's generally men with cancer who receive those. I don't know if he was going off of statistics or personal experience, though. I'm not sure since there's still not a positive way to know if it's really a pregnancy, so I have an ultrasound scheduled for this Thursday as it was the earliest appointment available. That will be the only way to properly confirm. If the ultrasound confirms that I'm pregnant, then I'm also going to ask about getting DNA testing as a form of paternity test. Finally, I want to disclaim something. I've lied about a lot of things before. Everyone has. But pregnancy isn't something I would ever touch. There are so many women in this world that want kids but are unable to have them, and I can't imagine what it's like for them to constantly see other people getting pregnant. It feels disrespectful and borderline offensive to lie about something like that, and I would never. I also want to say that I completely understand the people that think I cheated and this is all a cover-up story. I'm not gonna try and win people over because your opinions genuinely don't matter to me. All I'm gonna say is that this is a throwaway account that no one I know follows or has access to, so there would be no reason for any of that. If I actually wanted to convince people, then I would have posted it on my main, which my boyfriend and several other friends follow. Again, no one else but my boyfriend and my parents know about this at all, and I don't want them to. On a more positive note, I'd really like to thank all of the supportive comments and messages I got. They outweighed the negatives by far, and it's incredibly heartwarming and honestly surreal. I didn't expect this at all, but thank you. Truly. I had multiple people message me and offer to pay for things like paternity tests, abortion access, and general expenses, and with each and every message, I cried. I can't believe there are such kind-hearted people in the world, but thank you. Me and my parents have this covered, but the offer is enough, and I'm truly grateful for all of it. Hope to keep you guys posted. That's all for now. Update number 2. There's not much to say. I got an ultrasound, and yes, confirmed the pregnancy. I was still holding on to a bit of hope that it might be something else, lol. My doctor gave me a referral to go straight to a blood work lab. I have no idea what they're actually called, so me and my boyfriend could do a prenatal paternity test. I'd never gotten a referral that quickly. Usually, you have to wait at least a day. But she sent me over for an appointment just an hour after the ultrasound, which was really great. We did the blood test and saliva swab, and now we just have to wait about a week for the results. Most likely getting an abortion, but still figuring out the safest way to do that out of state. Final update, 10 days later. Hey guys, sorry it's been a while, but I had to wait for results. The paternity test just came back, and yes, like I kept saying, it was his. The only way it wouldn't have been was if it had been SA, which there was an extremely low chance of. But even so, I'm very grateful that nothing happened to me in my sleep, as some people had suggested. We found a great program that several of you had recommended to me called Plan C. They help provide women in no-abortion states with abortion pills. It was very mentally difficult for me to go through with, but just this morning the pills came, and we used a telehealth doctor to help. I now officially had an abortion, woohoo. I was very on the fence about it, and honestly, I'm not doing too well now, but I know it was the right choice. Also, I got the paternity test because I could. Some people said it was strange to get one even though I was most likely getting an abortion, but I don't think so. Personally, I believe it was very necessary, and honestly, it wasn't as expensive as I thought it would be. My parents covered it. No, my boyfriend's parents never found out about any of this, and we don't ever want them to. They're not very good or stable people, and my boyfriend plans on going no contact pretty much as soon as he turns 18. Also, we're both 17 now. Anyways, thank you all for the support on this journey. It's been rough, but I know this all helped so much. Goodbye.